Namaste. I am Professor M.G. Chandrakant, former director of the Institute for Social and Economic Change, Bangalore. The purpose of this video recording is to dispel some of the fears or apprehensions expressed by Sri P. Sainath, the Magsaysay Award winner, regarding the three farm laws which have been enacted during September-October 2020. Now, in one of the recent videos, Mr. Sainath has expressed in these words the apprehensions. These farm laws are not just about farming, and I am saying repeal is the first step. In these laws are provisions affecting every Indian citizen. These are his words. Firstly, in the agricultural side of it, you are going to be affected severely. Much of the middle class have no idea of what corporate takeover of agriculture means for them in food, in prices, in homogeneity, in disappearance of variety. All those things they have no clue of what will happen. When that takeover happens and what will happen to food prices, that's what he has expressed his apprehension. Now, the corporate takeover. This is something like telling the judge, Your Honor, I am afraid of a person or a company because in future the company or the person will compete or use his capital as power and will take over the marketing of the entire agro produce of the country and therefore repeal the law. Now the judge will say, show me the proof how the corporate will take over. The farmers or farmer union or even Mr. Sainath may say, it is available in future. The proof is available in the future. The judge will say, at least show me whether any such thing has happened anywhere in the world. Because United States with very big farm sizes of at least 400 acres, even there 95% of the farms are still family farms. The corporate has not taken over, even the United States with such a high liberal and capitalistic economy. Even then, the farmer union will say, this is my strong apprehension, my lord, and hence repeal the law. The judge will say, cross the bridge when it comes. Or the judge will ask, under what law or section you can prevent an entrepreneur from competing. The entrepreneur or corporate will say, under Competition Act 2002, yes, you can prevent competition or you can prevent undue monopolization. The judge will say, close the matter and does not require repeal. The judge will say, you cannot repeal the law. Now, the important thing here is to notice how the corporate takeover will affect, or will it affect at all? Will corporate takeover at all? Now, let me just share with you some of the experiences of the corporates in agriculture. There are about 12 lakh corporates working in India. Out of that, hardly 7,500 or so are corporates from agriculture. Of that, 7,400 corporates are FPOs, farm producer companies. There may be hardly 100 corporates which are working, the two, not in farming, only in marketing. Okay, especially they are operating in Malur, etc. So, where is the corporate takeover of farming in agriculture? Corporates will take over only in areas where it is highly profitable for them to come up. For example, software, health insurance, maybe life insurance, okay, maybe legal services, etc. But in agriculture, even though they can bring big sized machines, combined harvesters, big tractors. They have not come and they have not entered into farming at all. The farming has to be done by farmers only. No one will enter farming. Marketing, to some extent, the more Fab Mall and then some of the big shops have come. Okay. Now, with respect to agricultural takeover of the farmers, let me just share with you what are the experiences here. So, as I mentioned earlier, even United States with more than 95% of the farms as family farms, the corporate farming has not entered the world's most liberal or capitalistic country in the way that most fear here in India and around the world. That agriculture is a gamble on the monsoons is widely accepted, and this is true for corporates also. Agriculture is a gamble is true for corporates as well as for farmers. But capital injection will postpone the operation of the law of diminishing returns. It's also a gamble in the markets. Agriculture is also a gamble in the markets due to increasing market imperfections and market inefficiencies. For the perspective, out of 1.26 million registered companies in India, hardly 67 are purely agricultural companies, forming 0.008% of the pool. After including the existing 7,374 FPOs, it is a mere 0.59%. When Kentucky Fried Chicken entered India, there was a hue and cry among farmers that it is going to purchase the entire poultry industry. However, Kentucky Fried Chicken is purchasing chicks from India, creating market for the Indian poultry. Now, the state-of-the-art precision farm, Simply Fresh, was set up by two IT professionals returning from Australia in 2014. With an output of around 10 tons of organic fruits, vegetables, medicinal plants per day, with an investment of rupees 130 crores, they are helping the economy by having their firm in Hyderabad. Second, uh, Dell Hat, D Hat, is offering access to quality inputs and market linkage to 4 lakh maize, wheat, banana, lychee vegetable farmers in Bihar, UP, Jharkhand, and Orissa, resulting in a 50% increase in the farm incomes. Farmer employees of Wipro, Bangalore, using digital initiatives have formed Stell apps, okay, to digitize the supply chain for 20 lakh dairy farmers, mostly small farmers from 33,000 villages, managing an output of 11 million liters of milk per day in the presence of the cooperative dairy. Okay, so cooperative is also existing, such corporates are also existing. Mahindra and Mahindra is a big corporate that produces 40% of the tractors used in farming in India, and farmers of Punjab are using Mahindra and Mahindra tractors. The farmers are using all the corporate products, the mobile phones, the Google, WhatsApp, Facebook, SIM, everything, including the tractors and other corporate products, their motorbike, their scooters, their cars, etc. But again, they have the apprehension. Or is it these so-called urban people like our Sainath, who is having apprehension? We enjoy all the benefits, but we don't want the farmers to enjoy the benefits. Now, in Karnataka, these corporates are benefiting in this way. The companies like Future Consumer, Ninja Cart, Big Basket, Milk Basket, Farm Fresh, Look, More, Max Heifer, Reliance Retail, etc., are involved in procuring quality fresh fruits in Malur in Karnataka. Small farmers have benefited more than large farmers through contract farming. The farmer sellers are first registered and they are informed about the need for certain quantity of certain quality of vegetables to be supplied to their outlets on a particular date and time. And the farmers will supply this because they know the information in advance, and the proceeds are deposited in the bank account in a transparent manner. Note here that the uniqueness of Namda, one of the corporates called Namdari Fresh. Namdari Fresh has contract farming with the farmers in Bidadi, the cultivating gourd, snake gourd, ridge gourd, snake gourd, etc., for exporting to Europe. And the quality which is not suitable for export is not given back to the farmer, but it is sold in the retail outlet of Namdari Fresh in Bangalore. So the farmers are happy. Uh, has any study has been done to find out whether the corporates are actually exploiting the farmers or not? No study has been done. We have conducted a study, and according to our study, baby corn as well as the gourds, the vegetables which the farmers are cultivating in contract farming, the farmers are extremely happy and they have no complaint about the company of any sort. Now, agriculture oscillates between the vagaries of monsoons and markets. If the corporate world is exploitative, why not have farmer producer organizations, FPOs, demonstrate their efficiency of pooling the bargaining power of farmers in price determination and show that they are a better option than having agricultural corporates engaged in contract farming? So we should prove that the FPOs are better than corporates. What prevents agriculture graduates from taking up farming? There are about 70 agriculture universities in the country, and each university produces about 1,000 graduates every year. So 70,000 graduates come out every year. How many of them go to farming? Not even 1% will go to the farming. Why? While production technology has progressed through research and development, agricultural marketing is still caught in the trap of inefficiencies and imperfections of the APMCs. I mentioned that the corporates give the proceeds once they purchase the vegetables and they deposit to the bank account of the farmer. Whereas in APMCs, even to this day, if you go, they will give white slips. In the white slips, nothing is mentioned clearly about the produce, the name of the farmer, the weight, the price, etc. So still APMCs are fraught with inefficiencies. And if our agriculture graduates do well in agriculture, they are still unable to reap a higher proportion of the consumer rupee due to the middleman, the superfluous middleman, due to whom the marketing costs have increased. It is therefore crucial for the farmers to accept the three new laws which will benefit them by injecting competing markets. Therefore, capital injection is crucial in agriculture for it to benefit from scale in production and marketing. The experience of opening of APMC markets has indicated that the market prices can increase by at least 38% through ENAM in Karnataka. The role of corporates, especially in agricultural marketing, is too far significant as they can transfer a greater portion of the consumer rupee to the farmers. So I just want to dispel the myth and unnecessary unfounded apprehensions of Mr. P. Sainath, the Magsaysay Award winner, and simply creating confusion among people and among farmers that corporates are going to exploit. His apprehensions have no basis at all, and the corporates are going to help the farmers, and the farmers are always united. If there is any problem, they will always fight as they are doing now. Maybe they are totally sort of misled in this fight, but if they are properly informed, the farmers will certainly understand and will agitate in a proper way. And whatever the apprehensions of Sainath are totally unfounded. That's what I would like to say. Namaste.